from North Shore Nosh. Here I am at Total Wine in Danvers, and this is my wine guy, Emmanuel Montevecchi.
Hello.
And hello. And we have a format here. It's in threes. Question for me, question for you, and a question for Nosh Nation, and not necessarily in that order. So here we go. The question for me is, how did you get in wine, and what's the wine that you really enjoy?
Okay. Well, I got into wine probably about 7 years ago. I was working part-time at Trader Joe's, so I became kind of interested in some of the wines that they had there. I asked a lot of questions. There were some people there that really were knowledgeable and kind of furthered my enthusiasm about it. So that's kind of how I really first got into it.
Okay, great. Next question. This is for the Nosh Nation. Now, if you see behind us, this place is gigantic, and it's frightening for a lot of people to come in here and pick a bottle of wine. So when you see somebody come in with that wide-eyed look and like they're scared to death, what do you say to them? How do you give them like tips to say pick out a wine? What is the first couple things you tell them to do?
Oh, yes. Well, Pete, the first thing I do is basically we hear often that people get overwhelmed. That's the constant word that we hear, overwhelmed. And I understand because of the sheer size of this place. I try to find out what kind of wines they really gravitate towards, what's their palate like, and then kind of go from there and just, ask them questions, just get some background on their, with the profile of the wine, the bouquet that they're looking for.
Now, you're dealing with different, obviously, palates, here, people. Do you notice there's a difference between men and women with their palates? I know you and I have talked about this because my wife has a different palate than I do and may have me more hypersensitive. Is that what you run into as well?
Sure. As far as scientifically, women have more taste buds than men.
Yep.
So women tend to get more nuances on a particular wine than a man will get. So sometimes it's a harder fit for to make sure that if it's a woman coming in, make sure that their needs are being met in what they like in a wine.
Got it. Okay, and a question for you.
Yes.
Is Total Wine does a lot of featured wines month to month, depending on what they buy. What is the wine that you are promoting this month, and what's one you really enjoy?
Sure. All right. So over here we have this one here, the Mysterio.
Yep. Ah, Mysterio.
Yes,
Malbec.
This Malbec here, which Malbec actually was my first affinity, my first attraction to wines.
Yep.
That's being Argentinian. That's my background. So Malbecs were readily available, at home. And then when I do visit Argentina, I tend to have some Malbecs. I talk to my cousins about some wines. But Malbec's definitely my first appreciation for wines. Being robust, earthy, and bold. Definitely has a tannic finish. So that doesn't appeal to everybody, but this is a powerful wine.
Could you decant that out a little bit, just to give it a breathe and maybe take some of the tannins out a little bit?
Sure. You could mellow it out. You could definitely decant it. You could aerate it. You could mellow it out. This is actually a medium-bodied Malbec. So someone who's never really had a Malbec, you probably want to go in to begin with on a medium-bodied Malbec rather than a full body.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Emmanuel. I appreciate the time to show us the wines you like and what really got you into wine. And we're going to probably hopefully do more of this over time.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much. So long, everybody.
All right.
Eat, drink, savor.
Have a good weekend.